Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We've been away, but we are back. It is the Know Nothing Show. Steve and Eric broadcasting from coast to coast and around the world. We're also up on Facebook Live as we wait for the bells to subside. Is it subsiding? Yes, it is. Eric, how the hell are you, my friend?
You know, I'm good. I'm just happy that we've kind of gotten rid of that echo situation that we fell in love with last week. It felt like we were in the Twilight Zone or Groundhog's Day. It just kept looping everything we said, and it wouldn't shut up.
But it was good. It was funny. It was very Halloweenish.
Ooh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. I think that was probably of the months and weeks that we've been here. Mm-hmm. That was definitely the first time we had a ghost in the machine.
That's true. I mean, we have. You're right. We have had a lot of issues. More issues than we probably should have had. But I don't know. That was kind of weird.
It was weird. Now, I sit here, so if anybody actually watches the show, the two or three, and we're not talking about my mom and his mom, okay, the rest of you. So I'm producing here in Chicago, so I've got the board in front of me. The second it stopped, I was like pushing any button, and I probably made it worse. And then, of course, who am I going to call? What am I going to talk to? The intern that's sitting there eating some Pizza Hut pizza around the wall? No, that wasn't going to help. Was I going to ask you and text you, dude, what do we do now?
No.
But we tried.
Yeah.
We tried.
We gave it all. We gave it everything we could, and it just wasn't in the cards. It's not working.
We did it for you. All of you out there.
Because we love you.
It's our commitment to the show, to Fabulous, and for all the people that called me last week and go, your show sucks. Thank you.
That's really why we do it. That means a lot. It means a lot. That means we're doing something right. Because if you hate our show, good.
We are doing something right. If you're going, you guys suck. Okay. We've hit a nerve.
Yeah. And we're going to probably hit that from now on, actually. So,
it's back in the day, when we were single guysing out there. Yeah, we're going to hit that. Yeah, we're going to hit it.
We're going to hit it.
Is it quarter beer nights? Indeed. I'm going to hit that.
It's going to get hit. Yeah. Much like Chris Brown to Rihanna, it's going to get hit.
What?
Can't say that. Can't say that.
That's right. You cannot say that on national radio. You just can't.
You do that.
We can do it on Facebook Live like we're doing, but for the rest of it.
Well.
So a lot of things going on. Just the other day, I swear to God, it was just the other day. We were talking that we are approaching 2 years. Shut the F up.
Very quickly. And for some, it baffles me. And it's not like I could understand if one station was like, yeah, screw it. Yeah. No, this is multiple stations. There are many stations that say, we want to carry the Know Nothing show. And we're like, why? Thank you, but why? They still do, and I don't understand it. So
that's funny. The Know Nothing show.
Know Nothing show. That's right. Which if you Google it, as spelled as that sounds, whole different show. Yeah. Whole different show.
That's right. I like it though. The Know Nothing show. That goes without government cheese.
Mm-hmm. So that's how people talk where I'm from, right here in Nashville. Or sorry, Nashville. Yeah,
you got to get that right.
Nashville. Yeah. And the further out of town you go, the more you cannot understand what's being said.
I totally agree with you. Bro. But 2 years. And I'm on edge. I admit it. I am on edge. with everything that's going on.
There's a lot.
Like tonight, if people didn't know, the return of Will and Grace. Shut the hell up.
The return.
Didn't that show suck when it ended? I don't even remember the premise. Do you?
I don't remember it, but that's probably how much it sucked. Now, it didn't always suck. It was actually good in the beginning. Probably like maybe midway to 3/4 of the way done with its lifespan. It just kind of, as most series do, they just fall apart. That's what I thought anyway. It just kind of went poopy.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Will is an attorney, and he was one of the first gay characters on broadcast television. Right?
Right.
I think the first one was on Roseanne. I think she was the first one who's returning, but I think that's going to be a hilarious show.
That's a whole other conversation.
But Will and Grace, I don't remember the rest of the characters.
Well,
but what I've read, and I do read,
which is nice.
People that think I can't read,
right.
Okay, so I put in a CD so I can just
audio book.
It works that way. But with that, the critics I know have ripped it, saying it sounds like the O jokes from years ago. So that would be the downside of bringing back a show like that.
But do you think that's just because they want to lure people back in, so they're kind of reaching back to that and saying, hey, this is where we were? Do you think they're going to spread their wings, if you will, and say, all right, well, now that we got these people back, we're going to go out and do something else?
I don't know how you would do that unless you kind of morph it and say, hey, here we are, and then you're like, blah, 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 and you get like older.
What is this, Wayne's World?
Right. So it's just like, hey, kind of like you and I, 2 years.
Yeah.
Show a picture of us 2 years ago
when
we were young and dumb.
We're
just dumb.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
So with that, right there, that's what's going on. Will and Grace is the big hoo-ha. Some of the other news shows out there, but I saw a lot of stuff about Will and Grace. And you don't see guys lining up to see Will and Grace?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Unless you're right now.
The thing is, you kind of do. They're just not guys.
No, I don't get it. Just like when they brought back 24.
It was like 24 Legacy or whatever it is.
Oh, that was. Although I did interview quite a few people on this show, I didn't get it.
I don't know. I guess I've never watched it.
Unless you got Jack, what's the point?
Right.
Otherwise, you got for those who are a little bit older, you got Laverne and Shirley when they didn't have Shirley on the show. So how is it Laverne and Shirley without Shirley?
Without Shirley, yeah.
Shirley, your jest. No, look at it.
Maybe Laverne has gone crazy and has a personality of Shirley. So that's how they incorporate it. She's gone completely bonkers.
That would have been funny, though.
Just maybe
Laverne and Laverne would have been a better show.
Right? If people were actually taking notes on this show, that'd be scary. Because we're pretty smart people for not knowing anything.
There might be a test. Cheating is allowed.
Yeah. I mean, that's how did we get into radio?
It is one of those where just fill in the blank. If you can fill in the blank, you too can pass.
Yeah, can I hire someone to do this for me? I don't want to do this. I can't do this.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always been. Now, people want us to be more controversial. Or at least I got a couple of emails saying, what do you guys think of this? Or what do you think of that?
Right.
Which should be a name of a show.
Yeah.
This and that.
This and that. Yeah.
With cheddar cheese would be a good lyric. This and
now with cheddar cheese.
That or and his sidekick Parmesan.
Parmesan.
So what's going on in the world right now? We have to talk about it. People wonder, will we talk about real issue?
Well, wonder no longer.
I'm fed up. Before we went in there, I was really fed up. Okay. So with all this NFL stuff, do you kneel? Do you not kneel? Do you stand? Do we put our right hand in? Do we put our right hand out?
Well, I
put our left hand in. Yeah. Do we shake it all about?
I want to know that. That's what I want to. Do we shake? Is this something that I should look out for? Because I know the first part of that, but the second part, I feel like has never been addressed. And if we don't address it, how are we going to be functional? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
I don't know.
Now, with all this NFL stuff, you are a massive Cowboys fan.
Easy. Oh, yeah.
So you've got the Spurs, you've got the Chaps, you've got it all.
Yeah, but I never wear them. I don't have to wear them anymore. I just don't wear anything, and then I just look at them and stroke them gently. It's not weird. It's fine if it's on a mannequin. It's totally. It'd be weird if it was just on the couch somewhere sitting around, but I put it on a mannequin, and then it's fine. Everything is fine.
And the key word is man.
Can.
So what are your thoughts? All right, so let's step back and let's see if we could sound like we could do news people stuff.
Ooh.
Now Jerry Jones clearly said, let me set this up. The big thing is, do you stand, do you kneel during the anthem? Okay, the national anthem.
Sure.
Jerry Jones came out and said, if you do not stand, out your ass will go.
Yeah. Meaning, in layman's terms, you fired. That's essentially what that's actually verbatim what he said. He said if you don't stand up during the national anthem, you'll be fired. You're going to be let go.
So when you're fired, does that mean I get to come back tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe. Now we're going to have there's like picket lines, everything. We have to go through a process before we can come to that conclusion. There's arguments, there's riots. We have to go through all this stuff before we can actually address the real issues.
So what are your thoughts on his comments?
Well,
Dallas fan.
Now, the Dallas Cowboys are my team. I'm not gonna shy away from that. Love the Cowboys. Always have been. I've never swayed to any other team. I've never come back. I've never left. I've never done. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I don't know everything about them. I love to watch them play. I'm just a fan. Jerry Jones, in saying this, now everybody's freaking out, and I don't understand why they're freaking out. I do, but I don't. The point of it is, Jerry Jones is the owner of a multi-billion-dollar team,
correct?
Company, if you will. Let's do it that way. Multi-billion-dollar company. He is the CEO. He is the owner. He is the top dog. He owns this. He is it. You can't go up any further than him in that particular situation. It is him. So he's in charge, right?
Top cheese.
Top cheese. He is cheddar cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, this is common practice in a business, in any type of corporation, that you have to abide by certain policies, certain rules if you are to work here, if you are to participate in this particular situation. It's called a job. It's called a 9-to-5. And he has every right to say that. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's freaking out because it's a sport, so they don't understand the business side of it. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with the national anthem. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Literally, it's business. But you've thrown race into it. You've thrown all these other things into it. And now you're blowing it up into something else that now all of the NFL has never had this issue. They've never been able to, they've never gone through this before, like this much. Just, I mean, they've had strikes and things like that, but this is more race driven. And exactly. I get that. I'm not dwindling that there is racial issues. I'm not saying that there are not. That's not what I'm saying. I completely agree that there are, and they need to be taken care of. But he's the owner. He's the owner of a team. He's the owner of a multi-million-dollar. Doesn't matter if he's the owner of a $500 company. Doesn't matter. He's the owner. he gets to say, these are my rules.
Yep.
If you would like to come and work with me, you will abide by these rules, or you will no longer be present. That's just how that works. Steve and I have both been there. We've been let go multiple times, sometimes mostly for just being us. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Hey, now let's fill in some blanks here. The NFL is a private companies, okay? They're not public, where then you'd have to file and follow other regulations.
Yeah.
Okay. Working for radio stations. Some of the stations that I was walked out of, they were privately owned. I didn't follow the rules. I was adamant about not following the rules. Like, I don't know, format.
Right.
So, Steve, tonight we actually became a jazz station. Really? Is Led Zeppelin jazz? No. Why are you playing it? So you may leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have no issues with any of that. I think as a business owner, you have the right to make the rules, even in corporate. So I've worked in corporate radio stations.
Right.
We had regulations, the whole works. You don't follow them? I'm sorry. It's a right to work state. They don't have to hire me, and they get to fire me for any reason.
Any reason. They don't have to have a reason. Yeah, there is no reason. You're fired.
And me, I'm kind of sick of everything going back to Colin Kaepernick. What he wanted to do early on, a quiet protest, all that. Thumbs up for that, bro.
Great. Fantastic.
I did not grow up as a person of color, okay? I don't like hearing African American, all that, because people should call me a German American or Italian American.
You're American.
But I'm an American first. But of a person of color, I didn't grow up that way. So I could never comprehend what it would mean to be stopped by a police officer and make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. I would never think of that.
Right.
That's not the world I grew up in.
Right.
Totally respect it. I wish it was about that. It no longer became about that issue, where how the flag got dragged into it.
Yeah.
And then here we watched the person from the Pittsburgh Steelers, military on top of that. They're asking a guy who spent 3 tours in Afghanistan to say, no, bro. You're going to come inside
with the rest of the team
during the anthem. Now, I'd like to throw in one other tidbit as we go on. It wasn't until 2009 that the NFL required all teams to be on the field during the anthem. Why, you ask? Because the U.S. Army paid $500 million of advertising.
Yep.
So that was to get people in the armed services, not so much the Army, but the armed services.
Right.
Because they weren't on the field early on. So with that, so now you're asking military people, I'm a military family, okay? Right. I will stand, I will never kneel, okay?
Right.
Not happening for me. I got to have respect to my family, my grandfather, all that. Grandfather who worked his way from the Philippine Islands to get here, all that. All the respect. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to salute. All that is respect to the flag and everything else that goes on, okay? That's not what all of this should be. And we're worried about people kneeling and not kneeling and all this. Like, really? That's what we're worried about.
Yeah.
And with this, here's my one last commentary on that, and then you can jump in. What happened to us talking about Irma and Harvey?
Oh, well, see, the problem is they got together, and they actually paid a large amount of money.
They were hitting it.
They paid a large amount of money to keep that out of the media. So that's why we haven't heard too much about that.
That's probably what annoys me the most.
Yeah.
Those sound like far more important things to be talking about than if we're kneeling, we're sitting, and now we sit and we worry about who's kneeling or sitting versus what are your thoughts on social issues. And me as an athlete, I'm not thinking about social issues.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a football player and I'm about to get my head beat by some 350-pound guy, I'm more worried about that.
Right.
Than knowing what the words to the national anthem are.
Right.
That's my 2 cents.
Well, and again, not to diminish anything that's happening, because I was watching some video on all this stuff, and it's getting out of hand, and there's so many things going on that you need to just pull everything back and say, okay, what's the real problem here? Because there are problems on top of problems on top of problems, and it just needs to stop. I mean, there's just so many so many detours, or better off, so many things that need to be addressed. We just have to stop and go one by one, because it's just, you can't do, this is what happens when you try to do everything at once.
Right. And on top of it, because of social media, we throw up what all our thoughts are without actually thinking.
Right.
Most of us grew up believing what our parents taught us.
Right.
You're Republican, Democrat, or whatever. You don't know any different.
Yep.
Like religious beliefs. You don't know any different.
Right.
Instead, we throw something out there and see if it sticks. Oh, maybe I should think this. And superstars, let's face it, the athletes, you don't see them. Michael Jordan never came out on any social issue. Why? Because it could affect his money.
Yep. Yeah.
Am I right?
Yep. But that's the thing. Like you'll notice that people will just kind of clam up whenever they have some sort of a bigger, like people that have large companies or large amounts of money, things like that.
Like
yeah, like us. They'll hesitate to talk about any social issues outside of their circle completely.
Yeah, because you could lose. Like Colin Kaepernick, if Colin was to join the show ever, I'd say, bro, cool. To make change anywhere on the planet, there must be sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah.
He's put out almost $1 million. He's putting money where his mouth is. We don't talk about that, do we?
Mm-hmm.
And we're worried about what he did a year ago. What happened to it all?
Yeah.
And we're worried if he has a job or not. I say, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. Let him worry about that. Let him figure that out. Now, not to say that he's kind of getting screwed on this, but at the same time, I mean, that's not really our problem. We have to actually he's not the problem. We have to figure out what the actual problem is and then go from there. It's not something that is just an easy fix. There's something much deeper. I feel like this is our psychology hour now that we're completely overqualified for.
Something hour. And for Colin Kaepernick, let me throw this in, because I've sat back. We both agreed we shouldn't be talking about this, but I think we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Just get it out there. Colin Kaepernick was not under contract.
Right.
Okay. Let's change that. If he's under contract, I can't run you out.
Yeah.
But since you're not under contract, me as a hiring body, I can decide what I'm going to do.
Right.
And for him to say, no, I don't know if he said I need to be paid starting quarterback money. These guys are making $25 million. You want to pay $25 million and bring that chaos
to
your organization? When, like, let's say he went to the Jets. The Jets suck.
Yeah.
You being a big Jerry Jones fan, does he bring on Colin Kaepernick just to be a backup? No, Jerry wants the focus on him.
Yeah.
Take part of that away.
Yeah. And again, it's all business. It is all business. And I know a lot of people don't understand that. They don't get how that just happens. But in an industry like this, in any Fortune 500 company or Fortune 300 or 100 or any large company for that matter, this is business. This is how this works. This is simple business. And I know that's harsh to some, but that's how this is. That's how this works. That's how it has always worked. And you get to a certain level and you just have to. That's just how, there's no other way to do that. If you are different from that, you're quickly not anything anymore. Somebody buys you, you go bankrupt, something happens to where you're no longer a part of that situation. That's business.
It sucks. And us as workers, we have to toe the line.
Yep.
And for any of the athletes, as they kind of decide, like the first baseball player, they got on his knee. I still don't understand the protest. And if think about it, the 68 Olympics, for all those historians and stuff, where the Black Power signs, when they won the gold, that was cool. Right. Still standing, have respect for America, because you have the chance to speak your mind. That would be the only reason I would tell someone, no, stand, because you have that right.
Right.
If you want to hold your hand up or whatever, that's cool. But just respect that flag and the people that have come before you, and to your parents and your grandparents. That would be the only thing I would ever say.
I know, and I've heard too that patriotism comes in all sorts of different ways. And I'm like, true, fair, it does. Yep. I have not seen any of those ways yet. All I've seen, and all I'm seeing is bitching and moaning. That's all I'm seeing and it just annoys me. It's like we all know that there are social issues that need to be addressed, but we don't have to whine about every single one of them. We need to come together. We need to just kind of figure this stuff out, because that's the only solution. It's not going to be riots. It's not going to be, picketing. It's not going to be. You have to. Everybody somehow has to come together and figure out how to make this work. It's broken.
That's right. It's not going to be a pretty picture.
No, it's not.
We all have to give up something.
Yep.
To make this better, kind of like when you and I on this show.
Yep.
I had to give up something to get you on here. You know, you mother.
Yeah.
You're whining and you're bitching and moaning.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be quiet so then I could just talk.
Yeah. Yeah. And that seems to work out.
Why don't we take a break here? Got some news coming up. So let's take a break. Do not move wherever you are. It is a Know Nothing show. Steve and Eric, stay tuned for more. Welcome back to the Know Nothing show. Steve Benz, Eric Black. Yeah, we're back. We got a lot of things going on. Enough of the political talk for right now, but we have some sort of news, and I'm supposed to turn over a segment to Eric. That was the rules. Those were the original rules, were they not? Did I not sign off on that?
You did, actually. I saw that, and the high up said that this is how this is going to work, and yet you're not fired yet. So that I don't know what you had to do, and I'm not sure that I want to know what you had to do to make that happen. But they just took that whole chunk out of my contract and said, "Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not doing that part."
It's because I'm Batman. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm Batman.
Well, all right.
But we're gonna get back to you being segment number 2 is you, all about you.
Right.
So we got some new stuff. So I thought here was your chance to, the light is shining on you, Eric. Do not screw it up.
Right. Yeah. The last time that was said to me, I got asked to leave the stage. The entire band was asked to leave the stage. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen here, but I may have to leave. Listen, here's what's going down. All right. So we have some news, as we've told you 1,700 times. It's called creating drama, but also intrigue. So that way we can kind of reel you in to what we're saying, so we can kind of expand what we're doing longer. Does that make sense? So instead of me telling you a 5-minute story, I'm gonna make it spread out over 20 minutes. It could all be said in 5 minutes, but I'm gonna spread it out. So that's kind of what this whole process is right now, is me trying to tell you some amazing news, but I also need to take up a large amount of time in doing so. So I am stretching this out. All right, okay, that's enough. Anyway, so there's some exciting news coming on, and I'd like to tell you about it. That was kind of a dick move, wasn't it? This show is now going to become a 2-hour show. So tonight is kind of our night to figure out all the details on that. So we're going to do a 1-hour show tonight, and then we're going to prep. Ooh, can I say that word? Do I even know what that word means? Prep?
No, you don't. You don't.
Okay, we got to revisit that, because I don't know. I'm reading this off the teleprompter. We got to prep for the beginning of our 2-hour show. Does that make sense? We're an hour show, sometimes an hour and a half, and now we're going to go to 2 hours. But tonight is an hour because we actually have to prep. I'm getting stuck on the prep thing. I can't move forward. What's the prep? What are we doing? What's happening? What's the prep?
Is it kind of like we're baking? So we're is it like flour and sugar?
I'll tell you, if there's food involved, I'm in. I don't know what that means. What is prep?
So we're gonna have a cooking segment. Is that what you're saying? The 2 hours is going to be a cooking segment.
I get if that's what prep means, then I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Are we, is the show about prep, or do we have to, I don't know. We have to define what prep is. I'm not familiar with prep.
Well, we could do an entire show about our lack of prep.
Is that, what is prep? Prep is something, okay. So I think prep is something that we do when someone wants to do something well.
Well, clearly we don't prep that.
I don't know what that. I guess that's what that is. I'm not a prepper.
We primp.
Primp. That is completely different.
We primp because we're pimps.
No, we primp because we care.
That's right. We really do. We care about all of you.
Every single one of you. Except for you. You know who you are.
If you're watching right now, you're it. Or
That's
if you're listening, maybe you're not it. So 2 hours. I'm excited about the 2 hours.
It should be good. I mean, I think we can fumble our way through 2 hours. I'm a little nervous because when we took it to Jerry, the station manager, I was really not sure because we snuck by somehow for the last year and a half, and I don't know, under his radar. I mean, he talks to us every week, but for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, I was surprised that he was like, "No, this is a good idea." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks, Jer." But I didn't know. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing for him to say. Which I guess I don't know why, because we're still on the air a year and a half later. But I didn't think
before.
Yeah, I didn't exactly. I didn't think he would be like, no, let's continue this charade. This is good. All right.
Yeah, because he's always talking about the P&L, and let's talk about the numbers, Steve. Right.
Yeah.
We do it over guacamole, Jer. How about that? Oh yeah, we've got that. And so also. We did announce that we're showing up live in Las Vegas. So we're going to be simulcast out in Vegas when we go to 2 hours as well, which is pandemonium.
Yeah.
So we may need to go out there for live broadcast.
No, I think I'm okay with going to Vegas for a live broadcast. I don't really see a downside to that at all. I think that's going to now, unfortunately, that means we actually have to go to Vegas. So sorry, Vegas, just in advance. But I think it's going to be swell.
Well, we do have to get the Know Nothing bus, kind of like the Scooby-Doo mystery van.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think we need to sell tickets to ride along with us.
Oh, now it's kind of like a police officer ride along. Except on our ride along, you can drink whatever you want, first of all, and you can walk around, and you can pretty much do whatever if you want to ride on the top of the bus. That's up to you. You'll sign the waiver, but that's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But you actually get it'll be fun. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be good.
I think so. I really do. I think we just need to find a driver.
Yeah.
And how many people can we get in the Know Nothing bus?
So here's the deal. I recently, within the last 2 weeks, rode on a tour bus. So I'm about to drop some knowledge. So I want everybody to hold on to your seats. And
give me knowledge.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The bus I was on, it's essentially like a small house. A tour bus for bands, for artists, for whoever it is, a tour bus is essentially like a small house. So you walk on the bus, and there's a typical, you walk up the stairs, there's a driver, there's all that stuff. Typical. Every time you walked on a bus, that's how that is. That's just standard. So you come around the bend, you walk to your left onto the bus, and this is essentially the living room. So you're here hanging out. There's benches on both sides. There's a big TV. There's a sink, there's a fridge, there's the bathroom. Everything is right there that you could possibly need to hang. All right. So you walk a little bit further, which is now you're in the middle of the bus. This is where all the beds are. In this particular bus, there were 12 beds, 12 of them. That's a lot of beds, bunk beds, little racks, almost a little bit wider than your body and a little bit longer than your body. But they're still beds. They're actually not bad. They're not comfortable. Well, they are comfortable, but anyway, you walk a little bit further back, and this is the back of the bus. This is another lounge area. I consider this the VIP area because you actually have to go all the way to the back of the bus. You got to get through all of that stuff before you can get to the back of the bus. It's another lounge area. Got a TV, got a stereo system. There's a small table, bench seats, things like that. Things for you to lounge again. But it's very plush back there. It's not quite like it is up front. It's more private. in the back. I think that sounds
How
like
big is the effing bus?
It's a
block
pretty-
long?
it's a pretty decent size. Yeah, it's pretty long. You've seen Greyhound buses. That's essentially what it is, except it's got cool stuff in it.
I mean, the only bus I've been on is the short bus, where the wheels go bust around. So,
Well, that's not true. You went on a police transport one time for that week in Mexico. That was weird.
well, but they let me turn on the siren, which is kind of nice.
Which is kind of nice. I was actually pleased with that. That they were very nice about that. I think that was a very kind gesture.
Yeah, and we broke into some village people, so that was all right.
Mhm.
You were a very good construction guy.
Well, and the thing is, though, is there was actually a village that we broke into, which is why we were on the bus
Right.
in the first place. But no, I did. I agree with you. I think that I rocked that. I pretty much just
Back to, let's face it, the village. That's what it takes
mhm.
to build our show.
Yes, it
Or build a child. What is that line?
Yeah, it takes a village idiot to build our show. Yeah, I think that's a good.
And both hands go up, going, right
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah. Hey.
I do it for you.
Yeah.
Do you
Huh.
think we could, if we got back to hour two, if we had like cupcake wars, no nothing baking cupcake wars, you and I?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that might get us some viewers.
I think it would. Now it would have to be a series so that we could charge a premium for watching it and drag people along and elongate it so that we make more money off of them.
It's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true because I could only make cream filled cupcakes. And the ladies-
Well, now
yeah, whatever.
that's a weird cooking class right there.
Look, before I start baking, if I need a little bit of oil on my shoulders, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that means that we need a cabana boy too, because I mean I'm gonna need mine.
Well,
If you're gonna get yours done, I'm gonna get mine done.
and I might want cabana twins, some ladies, but you can have your cabana boy with his big banana boat stuff,
Mhm. Well, that's how I got to the place. Yeah.
grooming your beard.
Mm.
So
Mm. I do like a well-groomed beard.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Nice.
Now, I was going to comment. I noticed I'm digging the ball cap that you've wore a couple of times.
Oh, thanks. No, that's sweet of you, Steven. That's very nice of you.
If I believe that is Rockwear stuff, am I not? Am I correct?
No, you are correct. Yeah, it is Rockwear. A friend of mine is doing all of this cool stuff. I'm very excited about it. Lots of good stuff coming. There's some hoodies. We got some new hats. I'll be sporting those this weekend, which we'll get into here in a second.
Nice.
And I think some banana hammocks because I requested for us. There's going to be at least 2 made, and those are going to yours truly, right here. So we're very excited about those.
Those will be bruised bananas.
Yeah.
Those are bananas. Whoa.
Whoa. After dark comes early.
Right, and then for some of you ladies, our bananas are chocolate covered and frozen hard. That didn't come out right.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Flipped.
I guess if it's winter, I guess that's fine. We'll save that one. We'll post that one.
More in this hour. We got to pack more in.
Oh.
Now we also have other news. Still segment 2. Brand new news this morning or last night or something. Please indulge us on that news.
Well, you're gonna have to be more specific because there's a lot of news. But
One of your idols.
oh yeah. Now listen. Okay, so here's the deal. This gentleman I grew up with, not literally, but I grew up enjoying things. How do I went down a rabbit hole and I can't get out of it now. Listen, our good friend Hugh Hefner has passed on. He was 90 freaking 1 years old, which props to that dude because that's pretty much how it happened. He had to be propped up. But man, I have been to 3 of his mansions, and they are not the Playboy Mansion, however, but 3 other of his mansions. And I'll tell you what, I would not turn that down if that was given to me. That would be okay. Those mansions are still legit. But yeah, he passed, and we all shed a tear. And I don't think the robe industry is going to be the same from now on out.
Yeah, it was reported that his third wife, who actually never touched him, whatever, she knew something was wrong because when she turned over this morning, he was hard, and she knew something was wrong.
Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. And it's a shame because that seems like a good thing, but in this particular situation, was not.
I thought he'd been dead for years.
Yeah. Dead inside, maybe. Yeah. Now I'll tell you, I'll drop some knowledge. I actually knew somebody, like one of the photographers / graphic guys that used to work with him very closely. He would come out and do portraits for the girls and all that stuff, but Hef didn't own anything in the last few years. Hef sold all of his stuff, did all the stuff, but this guy was telling me about some of these parties that he would be at and things that were happening, and he's like, it was weird when I was telling the stories, but when the stories were being told to me and they were at the places that I was, he's like, that's when it really set in that I was with Hef. I was this. I knew I was in the in crowd and didn't even realize it. I was like, yeah, I've never been there. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story, jerk. And we kind of left, but it's Hugh Hefner. He's a. This was the weirdest sentence that I heard. Hugh Hefner. I think they said something about like he was the owner of Playboy and humanitarian, and he was. That makes sense. But to me, looking at those two things back to back, side by side, doesn't. Yeah. Those two things don't go together. They did. He was. But looking at it on paper, it's weird. It messed me up.
Yeah, his daughter Christy ran the empire. I actually met her. Mm-hmm. Very smart lady. So I think they bought back most of the empire as well because they were going under and all. Yeah. So I was actually involved with the rollout of their initial website. So
that's part of that. That's a pretty big deal right there in the media world.
Yeah, so you think way back then when you had to download a picture and it took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When you had AOL. So now. Yeah. So but if you think about it, he pretty much took sex and tamed it down. I mean, I think what was his first cover on Playboy was Marilyn Monroe. How did he do that?
What, have you ever met Hef? I mean, have you ever seen him in an interview? He is smooth as silk, which is probably why he wears those silk robes. But this dude, man, even in his late years, but especially his early years, he was very smooth with the ladies. Obviously, he created an empire surrounded by this particular situation. But I don't know. I don't know how he did it. My question now, though, is this: is what are they going to do now that the icon is gone? How are you going to? I mean, is it like Wendy's where they just, put Dave on a picture somewhere and continue, or is this?
They're going to stuff him and put him in, orbit or whatever. So they'll just turn him into a cartoon of some sort.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen with Playboy? What's going to happen with that empire, which now is not so much an empire?
So now the 24-year-old girls have nowhere to go.
Right. Right.
Other stars that he made. So if we would have had budget on this show, we should be in silk pajamas with pipes in our mouth right now.
We should, and maybe even some sort of banana pajama situation.
I think so. And even one of our fans out there, one of our model fans, beautiful lady. I'm sure she was in Playboy at one time. She needs to send me those photos just so we can grade them.
It's just a grading situation. It's required by the radio station that we do that.
Because we're humanitarians.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the front of that is we're human.
Humanitarian.
We will grade on a curve. So
some of you will get that. Most of you will not.
Right. So, because I can't believe what I just said, and I just said it.
It just came out.
Again. It's just
I don't know.
it's protected. That's why we've got these microphones covered. It's protected.
That's right. That's right.
It's what it is. It is. Everybody shut up. That's what they call it.
That is.
And people wonder why we're going to 2 hours.
They do. We get asked that all the time. Why are you going to 2 hours? I'm like, well, because you're the other half of you demanded that we do it, and they're bigger. Honestly, we don't really feel like fighting. It's not that we don't want to fight. It's just that we're incredibly lazy. So we'd rather not. It's just something else we have to do just to piss us off, and we just rather pay you money.
Segment 3: Steve and Eric napping. Minutes.
We're
gonna have to follow rules, which gets us back to the front.
Yeah.
The 2 hours we have to follow rules.
Dumb.
We have to play ads at a specific time during the show.
Yep.
So for some of you are like, we love the flow. We love the flow. We may just cut each other off because we need to play an ad.
It's going to be weird because we've had some loose reins attached to us. And it's going to be we gotta tighten those reins up just a bit. Same show. This is going to hurt me a little bit. More structured. Yep. Oh, yep.
Whew. Think of it this way: it's our show with an underwire bra. We got to hold things up. Okay.
It's our show with a covering for your protection.
Yeah, I agree with that. But keep in mind we will have thongs on because thongs are never wrong.
They're not. That's why it rhymes. That just makes sense. That's science.
And if you've noticed, on my chair, it used to squeak because I sit on this white vinyl chair in the studio. White because, weddings, virginity, all of that. Yeah.
Wedding.
It stopped squeaking. Okay. Reason why I stopped. Because we don't need people wondering what we're doing.
Yeah.
Underneath the view.
I think it's clear at this viewpoint that we don't know what we're doing. We don't need to go any lower for you to realize that we actually have no clue what's happening at all. We don't need to do that. This is fine. This is a great view for that.
You know who we need to reach out, though? Although in his hour of need, Cooper Hefner.
Cooper. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you met him, but Cooper is his oldest son from, I think, second wife. I could be wrong because Christy is, I think, got 15 plus years on Cooper. Ooh. So we could have him on because he looks just like his dad.
Right.
And we could see if he is a smooth operator and if he will fly us to all the chateaus.
Ooh, I like this. We can do it live from the Playboy Chateau.
I think that would be good. I'd love that.
Yeah.
He'll think we're huge.
Right.
We are.
Well, I mean, we're kind of a big deal.
Real big.
In many ways.
Yeah, so all of you Playboy models out there, just send us your stuff. We'll grade it.
It'll be fine. We'll grade you on a curve, as it was said.
It's something that it burdens us.
A little bit. Yeah.
I met the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, and I watched one of their shows recently of how to become a cheerleader. And if they need us to be on the panel, we'll volunteer. Or I mean, even on the team, if you want us to be on the squad, my feelings are I think we can probably work out some sort of an arrangement. I think so.
So just throwing that out there.
As long as you give me a few minutes to warm up the hammies, I'll be good. And you have big enough boots for me. Big feet, big hands. You know what I'm saying? You know what we're throwing down. Everything's big. Texas.
Yeah, it's true.
100-gallon cowboy hat.
That's right. That's
I do have it would be like a sombrero. It'd be huge.
Yeah, that would be fitting.
I want to walk through the that billion-dollar building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's expensive.
I don't know how you spend $1 billion on it. Just like the new Atlanta Falcon one was $1 billion. I'm like, what? How's that possible?
Yeah.
It's 100 yards. That's it.
Yeah. And they'll pay it off in like 5 years because it costs $300 to go into it.
Man, very true.
No
Very true. I've seen a couple of NFL games. I don't want to be in the stadium because you can't see anything.
Now I have never been to an NFL game, and I live in an NFL town. That's weird. But I have been to some college games, which are kind of the same. And it's not as fun. It's not as fun sitting over here. I mean, you have like 15 angles if you're sitting at home on your couch watching TV. You have one angle if you're sitting at the game, unless you're sitting in some sort of VIP situation with multiple televisions, which most of us do not. We do, but most of us do not. Then that's how.
And I suspect most stadiums are people watching the game on their phone.
Right. Now I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. Most of the phone companies have now begun to block those out, block the games out. So if you have, let's say you have NFL Mobile. If I can't say that, well, I'll look forward to your letters. Then you can actually watch any game that's on NFL Network at that particular moment. However, if you're in the stadium and it is a in-network game, which would be at that stadium, you can't watch it. You can't watch it on your phone. They'll block it. You can watch other games, but you can't watch that one. Which I think is
weird.
Like
those rules. I don't like those.
It's weird. Who cares?
You can buy tickets to games that are like thousands of dollars. Like when I saw Paul McCartney over the summer, I paid a pretty good price for the seats that I had. I had really good seats. People were paying like $12,000 to be up front. I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm paying that kind of money. I'll just watch on the screen and be 50 rows back.
Yeah. Totally fine.
Because he can't see anything past 10 rows anyway.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, he's 100 years old. Damn good concert, though.
Well.
Yeah. Just like the football stadiums. You're so far away. Like when I saw the Raiders at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, you're like 8 miles away.
Yeah. You might as well just sit in your car in the parking lot, which is another 4 miles away. So now you're sitting in your car and you still got to walk. You got to call an Uber just to get to the front of the stadium. It's dumb. It's dumb. But people do it, and that's fine. You said something about concerts. I have to throw this out there. We have a short amount of time, but I got to throw this out there. This weekend, WSDI, which is our home station right here, is going to be heading out to Louder Than Life Fest over there in Kentucky. And yeah, we're going to be heading out there. It's all rock music. It's pretty much, it's a great lineup. It's pretty much every rock band out there is going to come through this weekend. It's going to be good. Anyway, going out there, going to cover some stuff, going to be hanging out. So stick around the WSDI radio situation, and you're going to be posting some good stuff about that.
Yeah, cool. So you're going to do some Facebook, all that Periscope, the whole works, the whole McGilla, as they say.
We're going to try. I know our success with technology is very limited, but we're gonna give it a go and see what we can come up with. But yeah, that's the goal. We'll see how it works.
And then my plan is I'm trying to get back to Nashville next month. So
right,
I haven't told you that.
Well, no.
I may just show up, in a paddy wagon of some sort.
Ooh, I don't know who Patty is, but you better ask before you take it this time, because I know last time she was not happy.
Look, Patty kind of slutty. That's all I'm saying. I said it out loud. I did.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
We're going to have about an hour here. It's like weird. People are going to be like, oh, I needed more. I needed more Steve. I needed more Eric.
I need some more. I'm fiending. And
you know where you can go? You can go up to YouTube and look at the videos and get more of us.
Yeah, look at the pretty pictures.
And if you stay tuned, once our live broadcast is off here on the mothership, you can listen to more of us. More. Yeah. So it's time for us to get out of here. Eric, it's great to be back. I missed you, bro. In non-echo.
I miss the echo.
It was you. That was just so weird. But it's time for us to get out of here. As always, the Know Nothing Show. It's always a pleasure. You guys can find us on Twitter or on Facebook. If you tweet to us, yes, we will tweet to you. We are out of here. Have yourself a good night. We will see you next time. I know nothing.